Hey, what is up, everybody? Michael Crump back here again, talking about the latest and the greatest in PlayStation Homebrew news and much, much more. So, just yesterday for the PlayStation 5, we saw a brand new update that came out, and this one is going to be 10.40. So, 10.40 has been released for the PlayStation 5. And what they stated down here in the release notes was that we've improved the process of transferring data from another PS5 and enhanced stability when transferring large amounts of data, such as captures. And then they also noted that they have improved the messages and usability on some screens. Now, they did not update the PlayStation 4, so that remains the same at 12.0. Now, right before this update came out, there was a new feature that you could add on a PlayStation 5, which was the PlayStation 30th anniversary. And if you enabled this feature, then you will be able to do things such as change your theme from the PlayStation 30th anniversary or select PlayStation 1 all the way up to PlayStation 4. And it would change the visuals, and there was some new sounds that came along with that. Now, the reason that I keep mentioning these version numbers here is because this 30th anniversary is not tied to 10.40. You can install it on 10.20 simply by going to the feature update. Now, I do have a video showing that on my second channel, but that did seem to cause a bit of confusion. Now, with the brand new theme that it came with, this also came with a boot up of the PlayStation 1. And we saw over here on Twitter that there was a gift that was left behind from a friend. And this is that boot up logo animation of the PlayStation 1 that you get on your PlayStation 5. Now, Sony did state that the themes that was available was only going to be for a limited time. So Sony might just take that away from users. Well, with this gift that was left behind from a friend, that would no longer be the case. Now, if you scroll down in this, you will be able to find some links of where you can download this. And down here, there is also a question of, is this enough to swap with the system_ex/VSH_assets? And the response was yeah. So if you do have one of those PlayStation 5s that's currently jailbreakable, you should be able to overwrite the existing one with the one that was supplied in this thread. Now, if you do happen to do that or have already done that, please do let me know in the comments below, as I'd definitely like to take a look. Now, for those of you that absolutely love Echo Stretch's 7-in-1 site, he has started making some announcements around, he has been changing the website around, and how does everybody like the new look. And so I went over here to the site, which is just es7in1.site. And from here, you can go ahead and you can play around with some of the new options. So one of those is news. And one of my favorites is over here on YouTube, where he has started to list out some of the popular YouTube channels. Now, I also list out popular YouTube channels from my site. So if you go to my YouTube page and you go down to other channels I recommend, then you'll see here's some of the other homebrew sites that I recommend. Now, if you've got a channel and I don't have it listed here, just let me know and I'll add it to it, because I absolutely love to see things like this where the community builds upon each other. And then for those of us that had to watch patiently as SpecterDev presented his talk on Byepervisor, how we broke the PS5 Hypervisor, that video is now out. So if you point your browser over to this YouTube URL, which will be in the description below, you can actually watch the video now. And at the end of the video, he does link to this GitHub right here, which we've already discussed a bit on the channel. Then I wanted to point you towards a resource if you are getting totally confused with all of the different exploits and everything that's kind of going on. There is this Google document that really tries to make things a lot easier for you to understand. So, for example, if you are on the very latest PS5 firmware, which is 10.40, which just came out yesterday, obviously all of these different things that we have are not going to work. So, the BDJB-ELF isn't going to work. There isn't any WebKit exploits known at this time for that. MasterCore, PPPon, etc. But if you start going down into this list a little bit, you can see that right here with 7.61, it looks like there is a couple of different options that is popping up. Obviously, I've discussed a number of these on the channel, but I thought that this document would be a great way for you to just take a look at which firmwares you're currently interested in, and then what all options that you currently have. So if you're in green all the way across, that looks pretty good to me. Now, I can't credit the original author because I do not know who it is, but if you did work on this, then please do let me know, and I'll make sure I get you some credit in the description. Next up, there was an update from Lappy, which was for Bloodborne Easy Mod 0.2. So all of these types of easy mods, like there's another one for the Elden Ring, they basically make the game much, much easier to complete, where you don't have to maybe grind for hours and hours and hours, to slay that demon. Now, in the video that I did previously for Elden Ring, you can see that it did things such as reduce 50% damage, player adds 25% more damage, gets 2x rune, and more. And then I noticed this note over here from Echo Stretch, where he was basically stating, hey, just because it says a lifetime account doesn't mean it's lifetime. Look at Save Wizard and how they screwed us over. And what he is referring to there is that basically in order to play Grand Theft Auto Online, you would have to use this paid private server, which is basically this one right here. Now, they are pretty upfront in stating there is a $5 a month premium, and then there is a lifetime for $50 right here. And really, his advice there is to kind of stay away from any of these sort of services that says lifetime. And I would agree 100% because these can come and go day in, day out, depending on whatever types of lawsuits gets thrown their way. The last couple of updates that I will leave you with is that this update of Demon Souls has been decrypted isn't necessarily something brand new, but what I am seeing is that since now Demon Souls has been decrypted, it does look like some of those other games that we had might also be able to be decrypted. So we might be getting a few, maybe 2 or 3 more games if this method starts to work with some of those non-functioning games that we had identified earlier. Now, the last update here, and it was basically that the No BD toolkit has been updated to 2.03 and includes the following: support for updating to 11.0 from 9.0 and decrease the time it takes to identify the pup firmware. And there is the download link right there. So always another great thing for Lightning Mod to continue to support that tool and all of his other ones as well. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael, out!